Morning, everyone. As we're getting this started, I'm going to do a couple of things early this morning. We're going to talk about that man. We're going to talk about Bryce Young. We're going to talk about some of the issues. I'll talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs later on, about how crazy that situation is up there. And we'll just keep it moving. But first, I did not see the game, but I heard the Jets looked real strong last night, beating uh, New England 24-3 in basically a wasteless game. And I told people that the Jets will be 3-1 before you blink an eye. The national media, again, not giving San Francisco their due and saying what's wrong with the Jets. From the national media, for once, why don't you give credit where credit is due? Why don't you give the 49ers, who be smashing these teams, some love for once, bro? Everything is, oh, we expect Dallas. Man, please with Dallas. Please. Okay, please. All right? San Francisco 2 weeks ago spanked their ass. Media didn't want to talk about it, though. Everything was about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Well, if you're going up against San Francisco, you're going to look bad. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't beat the 49ers. Look at his track record. Okay? Let's keep it 1,000. Let me see what the final score of that game was last night. 24-3. Ah, Denver next week. That's another victory. 3 victories that I predicted they will have. So I don't see the big deal with the Jets winning these games. They should win these games. Week 5 at Minnesota. Week 6 Buffalo. Week 7 Pittsburgh on a Sunday night. The new Mr. I'll tell you what I feel about something. Cameron Taylor Britt, the Bengals CB. This is his comment on Jaden Daniels. They don't like to make him do a lot. They keep it really simple for him. Nice college offense. I like guys like him that speaks their mind. Jets will be 3-1 when they go to Pittsburgh week 5. Excuse me, when they go to Minnesota week 5. So I'm looking around the league. Like I said, when week 12 is over, that's when you start staring at the standings. Right, nice story here. Browns linebacker Jordan Hicks is the Week 3 N.F.L Players Association Community MVP for hosting his foundation's second True Strength Night, which celebrate special needs students and positivity impacted 2,500 people at his old high school alma mater. Congratulations, young man. Derrick Henry still believes in the bell cow running back. I totally agree with Derrick Henry. problem with Derrick Henry is the right side of his offensive line is putrid. And that's why I think Parsons is going to run wild on the Ravens Sunday. They're in two straight home losses by embarrassing fashion. Like Peter Strager is pumping his chest because he's a big fan of big fan of Jets. Pick the Jets to go real far. Rodgers got 525 career touchdown passes. I believe the Dolphins are flying out today to Seattle. That is the longest flight in the league. Bryce Young still stunned that he's been benched. I'll watch Kay Adams later when I get off the air on her show today. She talks about, and Kay Adams gets the scoop. Trust me. Good Morning Football has never been the same since Kay Adams left. Hey, you paying me $30 million a year? Bye. She took the money and ran. Their own platform. People love her platforms. Gets any player she wants. Joe Burrow not panicking. Everybody's talking about now come back on late tonight. I'll give you the up-to-date injury report. And, for the Dolphin fans, the Bengals, did I say the Bengals? Excuse me, the Seahawks are all banged up. Even the Dolphin media said, damn, I didn't know there was that. He said a couple of Dolphin guys said they've never seen a list so long. Seattle's going to be without a couple of some players this weekend. So let me take a look at Seattle now. So I'll have everything late tonight when we come on for straight football. All right, let me tell you the situation. Seattle, Idaho, Montana, they'll all get, and Miami, and all of Florida will get the Dolphins and Seahawks. This is the television map. Um, Chargers and Steelers are in most places in the country. I don't think that game is in New York though. Man, we pick them up. It could be. That's surprising. Pennsylvania will get the Seahawks at 4 o'clock, and they're also getting the Cowboys. Houston and Minnesota. That's a Fox doubleheader game. All of the Southwest and the Midwest will get that game. They'll get Minnesota and Houston and Dallas as their late game and doubleheader. No one cares about Carolina, Vegas, Chicago, and Indianapolis is only in Chicago and Minneapolis. I mean Indianapolis. Iron Eagle Charles Davis will be in Minnesota. Nance and Romo will be in Pittsburgh. That's where we'll be Sunday. Kevin Harlan will be in Seattle with Trent Green. And of course, the worst crew, Spiro Ditas and Al Noceletta, will be in Vegas. Give me a second. So a lot of people are going to see the Steelers and Cowboys on Sunday. like I was saying, so these strange parts of the country are getting these games. Go back to Bleacher Report. Fox got the doubleheader this week. They got the Cowboys and the Ravens, which should be a very interesting game. I really don't believe Dallas is going to lose 3 in a row at home. I just don't see it. Who was I looking at before? It wasn't the Dolphins. Who I was looking at? Let's see. Maybe it was. You can go back over there and see the map. So I'm giving you the broadcasters now. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Toronto Maple Leafs. What a week in Toronto. Shocking for a lot of people. Talk about it in a minute. All right, I'll talk about him in a little bit, but the Dolphins, the Jets, the Rams, and the Seahawks all interested in Bryce Young. They're going to trade Bryce Young first. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Dolphins get him. That is going to be the best thing that happens. Tua will be a tremendous mentor for Bryce Young to teach him how to throw in the throwing lane. Remember, Tua is short too, and Tua can teach him a lot because Tua knows his job is not free. So he'll be glad to teach an Alabama alum how to throw over tall offensive line. I can see the Dolphins making that trade. Who's the other team? Jets? Not right now. Rams, I can see it as the replacement. And Seattle, I can see it. It's not going to cost you much to get a Bryce Young. I'll tell you that right now. Maybe a fifth because he's done nothing in there. If I'm old boy, give him a fifth. Maybe it wasn't. All right, let's get to the Toronto Maple Leafs before I talk about Lamar Jackson and Bryce Young. And I'll do that next. So hold on. let's get to the Toronto Maple Leafs before we stay strictly to football. Um, I did not know that there is a disconnect between the Maple Leafs, the fan base, and the media in Toronto. And from everything I hear what the media is saying, especially with Mitch Marner, is these guys are a bunch of prima donnas. All they care about is getting their next big contract. And usually when that happens, it's never good. See where the players go wrong in Toronto is they're a bunch of young fat cats making $7 million a year. They don't care if they win or lose. All they care about is cutting the check. I've never heard a team that has no connection to the fan base or the media. What do I mean by that? They don't acknowledge their fan base or the local media in Toronto. I look at that as that is very troubling. And to realize the reason why I say this is because Toronto don't, the players don't get it. Of all the years I've been alive and I have followed hockey, the one team that has not been in the Stanley Cup final is the Toronto Maple Leafs. God damn, I've seen everybody in the finals. Vancouver, 3 times. Uh, Nashville, Dallas, uh, Anaheim, the Kings, the Sharks, the Panthers, the Lightning. Carolina won a cup. You got to be absolutely kidding me with the attitude of these Maple Leafs players. I didn't know it was that bad in Toronto. Let me tell you something. The complete opposite of the Toronto Maple Leafs are the New York Rangers. And I'm not kidding. The Rangers treat their fans well. That's why Ranger fans don't give a damn about no other team in New York but the Rangers. Because their players, they do meet and greets at least 8 times a year with the fan base. And Ranger fans and the players, there's a connection. You cannot tell me in Toronto, and they like to fancy themselves as the hockey universe. Toronto, you're full of shit. That's what you are. And I'm talking about your players. They're full of shit. When was it? Who was it? Was it Jeff O'Neill or was it the other guy who's the host? When he said nobody knows Mitch Marner who he is, you got to be fucking kidding me. Are you serious? So you're telling me that the Toronto Maple Leafs are like the Devils? See, the Devils are the type of team here, folks. They don't have to talk to the media. They don't have to make appearances. They want their players to be incognito as possible. And that's why a lot of players like playing for the Devils. Because nobody know who they are. They love that. Jersey, the players love that. Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs are the same way. And to me, that's shocking. I was blown away when I heard this. Now, on their media day, what was that? Tuesday? Wednesday? You hear most of the players, it's like, hey, you know, let's get the season going. I'm going to tell you right now, Toronto, I'm talking about the players. Craig Berube ain't going for that shit. Even Brad Treliving said Craig Berube can do what he wants. You have gone 58 goddamn years without winning a goddamn thing. And you got the nerve to act like fucking prima donnas? Not one player on that team don't have to talk to the media? Wow. When my man said the other day he don't even know who Mitch Marner is, I can see why the media up there hates the team so much. Because this group of players don't get it. They don't understand what it is to wear that jersey and bring a title back to Toronto. The only thing these guys care for is their next contract. And to me, that is a gutless group of players. Brendan Shanahan should be ashamed of himself that he's let this go on up there. And you wonder why no one takes them seriously come playoff time. Kind of reminds me of a team in the N.F.L. about 2,000 miles south of here. Just hop on I-95 and drive straight to the city. The delusional fan base doesn't get the picture. But at least Dolphin players, they do appreciate the love and support the fans give them. Toronto is like, I don't give a damn about these people. All I care about is getting my next big deal. And these Toronto Maple Leaf players are getting paid, folks. And the media, from listening to that show, they really hate this team. And the reason why they hate the team and hate the players, because these guys don't care. The Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm going to tell you the difference between two franchises. I'm going to do Toronto first, and then I'm going to do the Montreal Canadiens. Okay. First, let me do the Maple Leafs. These players don't understand, nor do they care, that that they haven't won in 58 years. The local media there, the fan base there, I hate to say it to these players, they've never seen the Toronto Maple Leafs win a Stanley Cup or play in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's funny, but it's sad when they reel out the 67 Maple Leafs and see these men, these old men who could barely stand up, rolling out in oxygen tanks and wheelchairs. I think that's kind of embarrassing. Toronto, Miami Dolphins, the New York Knicks. At least the New York Knicks are out there. Philadelphia Flyers. These teams don't get it. At least the Knicks, I got them going to the finals this year. That will be spoke about in another day. Now let me do the Montreal Canadiens. They have been down for a minute. But what do you hear out of Montreal? Enthusiasm, excitement. They got a diminutive 20-year-old kid, Luke something. They are so high in Montreal. Montreal knows they're a year away from turning that shit around. They were down 3-1 3 years ago to the Maple Leafs, came back and beat them. Went on to the Cup final, and let me tell you, it was great to see the Montreal Canadiens, even though they got smoked, playing in a Stanley Cup final. It brought me and Flipside Fishing. We had chills in our bones seeing the Montreal Canadiens playing in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals again. Toronto, hey, Same old bullshit with them. And I got more news on Toronto. This came out on Wednesday. Edward Rogers, who now that he owns the most profitable franchise in the NHL, he bought the Maple Leafs on Wednesday for $4.27 billion to Bell. Now, Bell in Canada is like the phone company, like it is here. It used to be here. You'll know it as their version of AT&T. Mark Rogers flipped them 4.27 billion like it was nothing. And now Mark Rogers, did I say Mark? That's the father. God bless his soul. Ed Rogers is the most powerful man in the world now. He has he owns every team in Toronto. Every team. And he's let it be known that that Leaf Corp shit is over. But this is the good thing if you're a Maple Leaf fan. He's going to put his money on the Maple Leafs. And he don't really care for the Blue Jays or the Raptors anymore. Now that he got the coup de grace. And word on the street is, this is from Darren Drager. They had him on the show live. Drager confirmed the rumors. They're true. He's going to put his money in the Leafs. And if you're a Leaf fan, you're going to love this. You're going to love it. If you're a Raptor fan, word is he hates luxury. And I think that's one of the reasons why he ended up buying the Maple Leafs. Because he knows how inept the Maple Leafs have been in his lifetime. That he's going to bring them a championship back to Toronto. With Craig Berube and Brad Treliving. That's all he's rocking with. And he says he will run shit. So now Ed Rogers has become the most powerful man in sports now with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you can't help but watch Toronto all year long, see what happens. Now, this is good news for the Montreal Canadiens and their fan base. That $4.27 billion that Bell got from Ed Rogers, they're going to put that into the Montreal Canadiens only. So what you're seeing, folks, is the two biggest franchises in the world, is now putting their money where their mouth is and their resources where their mouth is toward their teams. And Montreal, folks, they are a year away from being back to power. Okay? As far as the Maple Leafs go, hey, if I'm Ed Rogers, I'll let guys like Marner and John Tavares walk and keep it moving. You got money now. And the Maple Leafs got real money now. They had bullshit money before when they were Leaf Corp. So let's get this straight. FC Toronto, the Owlettes, Sky Dome. Okay. Where the Maple Leafs play and Raptors. The Raptors, Blue Jays, and the coup de grace, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the biggest cable conglomerate in the world, which is Rogers, all owned by one man. And now the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be a power one way or another moving forward, and so is the Montreal Canadiens moving forward. A lot of people were stunned that this move was made, but I think Ed Rogers grew up and never saw the Maple Leafs win anything. So he said, F this, I will buy the damn team, and I'll make sure they bring a championship back to Toronto. And the money is there. Leaf Corp. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So the Toronto Maple Leafs moving forward with Craig Berube running the bench is going to be a team to be reckoned with moving forward. Good for them. And the Montreal Canadiens, who are hitting on their draft picks next year, believe they will turn the corner, and I do believe that. And Detroit, Buffalo, uh, uh, Philadelphia, and there's one more team. Oh, Ottawa. You let the Montreal Canadiens turn it around. You four franchises have a lot of explaining to do. A lot. And I got sad news for you Red Wing Sabres, uh, Flyers, and Senator fans. The Montreal Canadiens are doing it right again. It's on you. Because they'll be back in you from now. And you know me, I'm going to be all in that next fall. Back to football. Lamar Jackson. Who the hell are you? Who are you? Are you the guy that won the MVP last year when you was called by somebody the star child? Or are you just a piece of Starburst candy? Dallas, Cincinnati, and Buffalo coming up. I don't see them winning in Dallas because Dallas has lost 2 straight home games in embarrassing fashion. Can I see them beating Buffalo? Yeah, they're not beating the Bengals. Lamar. I don't know where you go from here, buddy. Our offensive line is putrid. Derrick Henry's being a good soldier. He's not saying nothing about it. He knows that line sucks. And like I said, are you the star child who won the MVP? Or are you a piece of Starburst candy? We're going to find out with you. Bryce Young. I've been waiting all week for this, and now they got teams offering. What's up, Moss? I didn't even see you. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even see you. What's up, man? Yeah. That was on that show, Overdrive. Overdrive. I get that now. I told you I get TSN. Yep. Rogers bought Western Shore Communications too previously. Rogers, massive now. Yeah. Good morning to Moss. Yeah. And I find it fascinating, Moss, that he is the most powerful. He's more powerful than Crump, believe it or not. Yeah, I'll pass through before I do straight football. I'll definitely pass through your room tonight before I go to straight football. But yeah, and he's not playing around, according to Darren Drager. Oh, Drager confirmed everything. Drager was on the show. He confirmed everything. And he's going to take over the Maple Leafs, and he is not dealing with Shanahan and Leaf Corp. He's going to run the team himself. It's going to be him, Treliving, and Craig Berube. Lamar Henry, you got to. Hey, Melina, you dismissed everything. I dropped a silver dollar on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So let me tell you what happened in Toronto the other day. I was talking about how much the players don't like each other. I mean, not like each other. The players have no connection to their fan base. They don't care about the fans. All they care about is making money. And they don't know or care that there's a lot of suffering fans in Toronto. Cowboys and Ravens, to me, the big game of the day is the early games. Pittsburgh and the Chargers. Uh, Houston and Minnesota. There's another good. Eagles and Saints. To me, the big late game. Hell yeah, I'm a TSN watcher. You damn right I am. Shit. You damn right. Let me finish telling Melina what happened. The media in Toronto hates the players because the players don't respect and they're disconnected from the fan base and the media. All they care about is making their money. The old Rasheed Wallace cut the check. And it's bad with the players and the media and the fans. But Maple Leaf players don't give a damn about their fans. All they care about is making big money. And then me and Moss was just talking about this. Ted Rogers bought out the Toronto Maple Leafs for 4.27 billion, and it works out for both Bell and the Toronto Maple Leafs. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, it works out because he said, according to Darren Drager, he's going to put all of his resources into the Maple Leafs. He thinks Leaf Corp is full of shit, and he's cutting Leaf Corp off. As far as Bell, they're putting that 4.27 billion into a young, up and coming Montreal Canadian juggernaut. It's a win-win for both Canadian big franchises. And I'm glad now that the Leafs are owned by a responsible owner. And by the way, me and Moss was just talking about this. Ted Rogers is the biggest sports power in the world. In the world. Toronto is the sixth largest international city on the planet. You see what Moss is saying. Berube ain't going to get put up with this shit. I totally agree. And Rogers, who knows what all happens. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Shout out to Old Dog, Noodles, and the other guy on Overdrive. And Moss is right. I'm a huge TSM watcher. 10 o'clock in the morning, Moss's time in Saskatchewan. Good morning to him. So, if I'm a Toronto fan, I'm excited about this move. You got a Stanley Cup champion coach. You have now the most powerful man in the galaxy when it comes to sports franchises. And Ted Rogers. There are going to be some happy days in that arena. What's that, Air Canada? It's going to be some happy days moving forward with that franchise. And same with Montreal. Now that Bell got 4 points, and he said, according to Darren Drager, he's going to put the money into the Canadiens. So it's a win-win for both of those franchises. A win-win. I hope Molina is excited about Ted Rogers buying the Maple Leafs and basically cutting off Brendan Shanahan and his flunkies around him. And to hear Brendan Shanahan, hey, Brendan, really? You think this team's going to win a Stanley Cup this year, really? Brendan, we're the same age, bro. Brendan, you better go deep in the playoff this year, or you will be replaced by Ted Rogers. I feel bad for the Blue Jay fans and the. And by the way, Ted is not happy with FC Toronto. They said somebody quit on the team the other night. They was talking about it. You're not lying. I hope Molina is happy about the Toronto Maple Leafs making power moves. Big disconnect between the Maple Leafs players with the media and fan base. He cares Blue Jays and Leafs. Okay. And he hates New Jersey, according to Darren Drake. Hates New Jersey. So Leaf Corp is going to be no more. It's going to be all Ted Rogers, Craig Berube, and Brad Tree living. And I don't think you can do better than those two guys as your mouthpieces about the team. I think the Maple Leafs will surprise people this year. Uh, I do. I think they'll surprise people. Will they beat the Bruins? I don't think so. Speaking of Bruins, this is for you, Moss. Listen up. Don Sweeney, some blog guy, was lying through his teeth over the weekend that Swayman was about to get paid. Don Sweeney said, "What the hell are you talking about?" And Don Sweeney said, quote, "We'll go the whole year without him." I'm trying to think of the kid's name, the goalie, who they have. One starts with a C, and the other one is the kid who they're excited about. His name starts with a B, the goalies. And he said they'll go with them. He don't care. Don Sweeney and the Bruins, folks, that is the team in Boston. Don't mistake it. That is the number one team in Beantown. Okay? Let's not mistake that. It's not the Celtics. Brady's gone. And the Red Sox are close second. But number one in that town is the Bees. And for Don Sweeney to go off like this, and he went off the other day, and according to Darren Drager, he is not happy who released that report. Some blogger guy they like to make fun of the blog guys. He's in his mother's basement. I leave that alone. I just know that one thing the Bruins do well, they groom goalies well. Moss says he's scared for the Raptors and Toronto FC. Moss, what do you think about Don Sweeney going off? Tell him that he don't need Swayman. They'll go with the two young guys. What do you think about that? Yeah, Don Sweeney. I'll tell you, there is a lot of pressure on the Bruins in Beantown, folks. I mean, goddamn, they've had a 15-year run of 96 points or more. Yeah, he says he'll go without him. And they'll go with the two young goalies all year long, he said. Oh, people are tired in Boston, folks. about the Bruins. They're tired in Boston. If that was the Calgary Flames giving me 96 points a year and we're not winning, we got one cup out of it, man, there will be holes in the wall at this studio. Moss says it will get done, surely. Hey, Moss, that's your team, bro. I'm not going to dictate anything. I'm just going by what the man said. And you know my brother right here, CK, he is frustrated like an MF, bro. They should have been winning a lot more cups than they have. It's amazing that the Bruins, they've been so good for so long. That's a hell of a run for Boston. No, I'm dead serious. This is a hell of a run for the Bruins. It goes to show you good drafting, and they solved the biggest problem of all always. Young defenseman, the great Charlie McAvoy, goaltending. That's why the Bruins are consistent. That's why they're consistent. Moss has all the confidence in the world Swayman will get signed. Yeah, I can see that, you know. But hey, if he's confident in the two young goalies, to each his own, bro. I just know, hey folks, again, I love talking hockey in here. Still need a center. I love talking hockey. I mean, TSN Rogers is in my algorithms now. It's hockey season. So I just lay back, close my eyes, and listen to these guys talk puck all day. Flames radio stations back on, out in Calgary. And out there, they are so ecstatic about their draft class who kicked ass in the tanking this weekend. Basha, Misa, Parak all had a good weekend in Penticton last weekend. Moss says the Bruins still need a center. I tell you, Zadorov is going to help you like knowing. I love his attitude. He has a serious ego problem about himself, and he looks great. He's been in Fenway Park all summer long since he signed with the Bruins. He loves Boston. Yeah, for certain guys, Boston is their type of town. Boston's their type of city. Cam Neely, Seabass, maybe needs have a word with little Don Sweeney. Give me a second. I'll get to the WHO in a second. Where is it at? Cam, Cam Neely and Seabass maybe needs to have a word with little dogs. God dang. Oh man. Yeah. Love me some McAvoy. Yeah, I love Charlie McAvoy, bro. When I play fantasy hockey, I make sure I draft him. I love him. It's my guy. You know it. It's a game behind the scenes too, and what get out into public. That is true. Tonight, WHL begins already. Ping home opener tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching some Western Hockey League because three of our prospects is up there. And this is for you, Mars. I know you like this. From now on, and the Flames did it in this draft. They will only draft Canadian and Russian players. Craig Conroy's marching orders. Canadian and Ruskies for the Flames for now. No American players. Saskatoon Blades, yes. Our Bruins defeated. Our Bruins defense is solid. Yes, it is. I think the Bruins are dynamo. They just, you know, they they trip over their foot. Well, I'll say this. I don't think Florida is going to be a problem with them this year. I think the Panthers will take a big step back and then they'll be back next year. I do believe that with the Panthers. I mean, they'll take a step back and then they'll come back. Bryce Young, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Seahawks, and the Rams all in on Bryce Young. It will probably take a fifth rounder because he was a complete bust. He's only making $5 million. Dolphins still got 23 under the cap. And who's better to teach him how to throw in angles than Mike McDaniel and Tua? I think that'll be a great landing spot for him. No pressure. He's not going to start when Tua is healthy. In LA, they're looking at him as a heir apparent, and you know how McVay thinks. Seattle, I don't see it. In the Jets, I don't see it. Miami and McVay, to me, are the two landing spots for Bryce Young. The two big landing spots for Bryce Young. That has been reported. Dolphins are in on Bryce Young. And like I said, Jets, Seahawks, Rams all in on Bryce Young. So, I think he'll be better going to Miami because McDaniels knows that him and Tua will work well together. Two Bama boys. Tua can teach him some things. And I think that'll work for all parties. It's only going to cost you a fifth. You know, I would do it. And then you got your solid backup moving forward, Miami. And I still believe, as sick as this sounds, if you're a Dolphin fan right now, I do believe Skylar Thompson is going to win games for you. I do. I'm dead serious. I think Skylar Thompson is going to win games for you. I am dead serious about that. So the Dolphins are in on Bryce Young. They're in on Bryce Young. And to me, that would be a nice backup. And he's only going to cost you $5 million as a backup. Giving Mike White $8 million was a fucking joke. Excuse my language. But when I go in on stupidity, No one's more stupid, inept than the Miami Dolphins. Trust me on that. Trust your boy Mace Taggart on that. So let me see who got hurt. All right. Uh, Siobhan Revel Jr., one of the top cornerback prospects in this draft, tore his ACL. That's a damn shame. All right. Tyreek Hill met with the police, tried to rectify what happened a couple of weeks ago. This is crazy. Drake May met his GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, after that beatdown the Jets gave the Patriots last night. It's sad, yeah. You don't want to see a top prospect in the NFL's draft next year tear his knee. According to Kuiper, he was the number 2 corner in the draft. That's a damn shame. All right, this little punk named Xavier Legette was one of the main guys who got Bryce Young. Let's just call it like it is. Bryce Young is going to be out of Charlotte. Uh, Mike McDaniel says he's pessimistic about Raheem Mostert playing on Sunday. And I'll say it again. Look at Seattle's injury list. A lot of those young defenders are not playing Sunday. So if I'm Mike McDaniel, I pipe it down a little bit. Okay? Pipe it down. Because that team you're going up against Sunday is all banged up. Okay? I talked about the young Cleveland Brown linebacker who won the award this week. I'll be right back with you, Moss. When I leave this, I'll be watching Kay Adams. I had a hell of a show today. Kay Adams' show is great. Up and Adams, awesome show. And Good Morning Football has never been the same since Kate Adams took that $30 million a year deal from Barstool. And her show is a major hit. A major hit. We'll be back with Morris in 1 second. All right. Houston Texans tight end Brevin Jordan tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Sad. When you hear these players tell their ACL, it makes you sick. It really does, because you want to see the best out there. All right, Derek Carr was fined $14,000 for doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk after he scored his touchdown against Dallas last Sunday. And me get back to what Moss is saying. All right, Moss said, you know it's a game behind the scenes, yeah? All right, Moss hasn't commented. So I want to thank Melina and CK for being here. I did all that I had to do today. I'll be back late tonight for straight football, and we're gonna preview the great games on Sunday, including Jim Harbaugh's magnificent job. So far, so good, making Justin Herbert the best game manager in the NFL. We'll talk all about that tonight on Straight Football. Myself, 305, that boy, and a couple other guys will be up there just to talk football. So you'll get that late tonight, 11:30 Eastern. Until then, we'll see you later, everybody. Thank you for being here. Get home safely and enjoy your lunch in the East Coast. It's this lunchtime here. Moss just started work this morning. I'll go by Moss's room uh, for a little bit tonight before I go on here to say what's up to CK and his audience. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. People in the clouds, appreciate all of you. Have a great day, everybody. Get home safe. Appreciate it. Straight football tonight.